A chilling mystery lurks in the shadows of the world's most elite and clandestine military force, challenging our perceptions of loyalty, treachery, and the truth. Consider this: a revered Delta Force operator, trained to be an embodiment of honor and valor, standing accused of a heinous act that shattered the bonds of brotherhood. What could motivate a guy to murder his best friend, and why does the case's curtain of secrecy appear impenetrable? In March 2018, a dark cloud descended upon the United States military when Master Sergeant William Levine, an elite Delta Force operator, killed his best friend and fellow Green Beret, Mark Leschaker. The incident occurred in a drug-fueled altercation at Levine's home in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The tragedy unfolded against the backdrop of a complex set of circumstances, including Leschaker's traumatic brain injury and addiction to drugs such as tramadol, Valium, and cocaine. However, conflicting accounts of the shooting, flawed investigation procedures, and a later mysterious incident involving Levine and another man have left this case shrouded in controversy and unresolved questions. Mark Leschaker is remembered in military history as a symbol of bravery, resilience, and unselfish service. Leschaker, a distinguished Green Beret with nearly 2 decades of military experience, had earned several accolades and his friends' undying admiration. His motivating leadership style made him a mentor to many, as he was always willing to lend a hand and urge others around him to push their limits. Despite the awards and accolades, a hidden battle waged within Leschaker's spirit. A traumatic brain injury was the result of a terrifying confrontation with an improvised explosive device, a haunting reminder of the danger soldiers face in combat. The aftermath of this incident was a vicious circle of pain and misery, leading Leschaker down a perilous path of prescription medication addiction. As the shadows of anguish darkened his days, the formerly fearless soldier sought consolation in the numbing embrace of narcotics such as tramadol and Valium. They took his clarity of mind slowly but surely, casting a fog over the lively energy that had once powered him to success. In a tragic twist of fate, the medications that had brought him temporary relief from his suffering had now become the shackles that chained him to a life of dependency and inner turmoil. Master Sergeant William Levine and Mark Leschaker embarked on what would turn out to be an ill-fated adventure in March 2018. Eager to escape the hardships of military life, they headed on a family vacation to the wonderful domain of Disney World in Florida, seeking moments of joy and respite from their demanding responsibilities as soldiers. As the sun set on these idyllic days, a harsher reality dawned. Whispers about Leschaker's deteriorating conduct reached people around them, prompting speculation that his tramadol and Valium addiction had gained a firm hold on his psyche. The shadows of addiction hovered among the joy and companionship, threatening to devour the dazzling flame that had previously marked Leschaker's character. When they returned to Fayetteville, North Carolina, what started as a simple quarrel turned into a violent confrontation, breaking the peace that had bound these friends for years. The awful truth became clear as the dust settled. Mark Leschaker, the decorated Green Beret, was dying on the floor, a casualty of the frenzied clash that had occurred. The facts underlying Leschaker's death, on the other hand, were as enigmatic as a mirage. The adorable 5-year-old children were the only witnesses to this heartbreaking occurrence, too young to realize the gravity of what they had accidentally observed. The lack of answers and the weight of ambiguity weighed heavily in the air, leaving all those involved and the world outside craving for the truth that lay hidden in the depths of that terrible night, with their young minds unable to provide clarity. The formerly inseparable link between friends had been destroyed in the aftermath of the tragic shooting that cost Mark Leschaker his life, overshadowed by different explanations and unresolved issues. As investigators tried to piece together the truth, they ran into a maze of discrepancies built by Master Sergeant William Levine, the man at the center of this tragedy. Levine's first claim of self-defense and an alleged screwdriver attack became a shaky thread that unraveled under the scrutiny of investigators. The lack of such a weapon near Leschaker's lifeless remains called Levine's assertions into question, leaving the circumstances leading up to the fatal clash clouded in mystery. Each statement offered by Levine appeared to be a skillfully contrived labyrinth of half-truths, concealing the true reason and circumstances. Perhaps most troubling was the gaping gap in the probe itself. One would anticipate a comprehensive and diligent assessment of all potential perspectives in a case of this importance. However, given Levine's documented history of drug use and the setting of the altercation, the omission to provide a toxicological check raised major concerns about the process's completeness and impartiality. The absence of this critical test left a gaping vacuum in the pursuit of justice, leading many to question whether the truth had been sacrificed on the altar of convenience or incompetence. As the mystery surrounding this enigmatic case deepened, both the families involved and the general public were confronted with an unsettling reality. The trust placed in the pursuit of truth and justice appeared fragile, and the pursuit of closure for Mark Leshacker's loved ones faced impassable obstacles. The echoes of contested testimonies and the specter of a faulty inquiry tormented people seeking solace and insight amidst the chaos of an unresolved tragedy. As the dust cleared on the sad events of that fateful day, the community was left with an overwhelming sense of bewilderment and frustration. Despite accumulating evidence pointing to Master Sergeant William Levine as the perpetrator, his quick release from jail and the sheriff's office's designation of justifiable homicide on the incident sparked a firestorm of skepticism and mistrust. The shades of uncertainty grew darker with each passing day, leaving those seeking justice for Mark Leshacker with the terrible feeling that the truth had been obscured and justice had been denied. The case's blatant lack of accountability created seeds of suspicion, and the system's once unshakable faith faltered in the face of such an unfathomable outcome. Unanswered questions loomed large, plaguing Mark Leshacker's family, friends, and supporters. How could such a strong case with evidence that seemed to contradict Levine's version of events be rejected so quickly? Was the inquiry defective on purpose, or was it the result of careless oversight? As the community demanded responsibility and openness, the search for closure evolved into a hunt for the truth. Just as the world believed it had solved the frightening mystery surrounding Master Sergeant William Levine, fate dealt another baffling card. In December 2020, 2 lifeless bodies were discovered in the center of Fort Bragg's Woodland trading area. Timothy Dumas and Levine lay in the icy embrace of death, their fates linked in an unsettling dance of shadows. When investigators arrived on the site, they were perplexed by the lack of a weapon. The lifeless forms displayed the scars of a nasty fight, and their deaths suggested foul play. The world beyond Fort Bragg couldn't help but wonder about Levine and Dumas's possible involvement in illicit operations and drug trafficking, the echoes of unanswered riddles resounding louder than before. The puzzling circumstances surrounding these fatalities seemed to get more intricate with each passing moment, beyond rational explanation. The discovery of an abandoned truck in a different area added another layer of intrigue to the evolving story, bringing it dangerously close to disclosing the answers that lay beneath the surface. As the inquiry into this double tragedy progressed, the public and law enforcement were seized by an unbreakable sense of dread. The shadows that surrounded the case were impenetrable, leaving everyone wondering if the ghosts of the past had returned to haunt the present. The deaths of Levine and Dumas reignited interest in the unresolved case of Leshacker's shooting. Investigators faced the daunting task of connecting the dots between the 2 incidents while grappling with the lingering questions surrounding Levine's past and flawed investigation. The Delta Force operator who went rogue and the tragic events that followed have left scars on the United States military in its pursuit of justice. The complex circumstances surrounding the shooting of Mark Leshacker and the later deaths of Levine and Dumas have raised questions about the military's ability to handle such cases effectively. As the investigation into these incidents remains ongoing, the families and friends of those involved are left with the pain of unanswered questions and the enduring legacy of a series of tragic events that shook the foundations of honor and trust within one of the most elite units in the U.S. military. And that's all for today's video, but we'll be right back soon. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.